A wedding at the heart of Heartland should be a celebration, right? But when Amy walks down the aisle in Season 19's premiere trailer, something feels off. It's not just because the groom is Nathan, a man fans barely know, but because every smile hides a deeper truth. This isn't just a new beginning, it's a storm in disguise. It all starts with a wedding no one saw coming. Asterisk, the trailer opens with soft music. The kind you expect at a quiet country wedding. We see Amy stepping out in a white dress. Her hair is gently pinned. Her expression but not exactly joyful. She's walking towards someone at the altar. And as the camera shifts, it's revealed Nathan is the groom. For longtime fans of the show, this moment hits hard. Amy, who spent years growing with Ty, is now saying, "I do" to someone new. And not just new to her, but new to us. Nathan, dressed in a classic suit, turns to smile at Amy. He looks sincere. But is he? The trailer gives us only seconds of their vows, with Amy saying, "I didn't expect to find this again." That line could mean many things. Maybe she's talking about love. Maybe she's talking about peace. But the way she says it, almost like she's convincing herself, leaves room for doubt. The guests at the wedding are familiar faces. Lou is standing nearby, holding back tears. Dim is next to her, wearing a forced smile. Jack remains seated, his hands folded tightly, a hard look in his eyes. It's clear this wedding didn't bring full joy to the family. Something about it feels rushed. And no one, not even Amy, looks completely certain. The camera cuts to Lyndy, Amy's daughter. Sitting quietly beside Katie, she watches her mom with wide eyes, and for a moment, the frame lingers on her face. She doesn't smile, she doesn't clap, she just watches. It's a powerful moment that makes the viewer ask, how is this wedding really affecting her? As Amy and Nathan say their vows, there are subtle signs that not everyone is on board. A glance from Lou toward Tim, a short moment when Jack looks away. It doesn't feel like the family is united. This isn't the kind of wedding we've seen in Heartland before. It feels like something's being pushed forward, even if not everyone is ready. Then comes the kiss. Soft, slow, and respectful. There's no passion, no wild joy. Just a quiet moment that feels more like a decision than a celebration. Amy's eyes stay closed longer than expected. Nathan pulls back, waiting for her reaction. She finally opens her eyes and smiles, but the camera cuts away too fast to believe it fully. This wedding might look like a fresh start, but underneath the flowers and the smiles is a deep tension. The trailer doesn't hide that. It hints at. It leaves it just close enough to see, but not enough to understand fully. And that's what makes this scene so powerful. It sets the tone for a season where the biggest question might not be what's happening, but why. Asterisk, not every cheer at a wedding is genuine. Sometimes, behind the applause, there's hesitation, doubt, even heartbreak. In the Heartland season 19 trailer, while Amy and Nathan exchange vows, the camera doesn't just focus on the happy couple, it lingers on the family and what it shows. Tells us something's not right. Let's start with Lou, usually strong, grounded, and fiercely protective of her sister. Lou looks like she's trying too hard to stay composed. She claps. Yes, but her eyes say something different. There's a flicker of sadness there. It's almost like she's thinking about Ty. Or maybe she's questioning if this wedding is happening too fast. After all, Lou has always been the type to trust her instincts. And in this trailer, her face says more than any dialogue ever could. Then we see Tim. He's standing near the front, his arms crossed in one shot. That's not typical for a proud father figure at a wedding. Tim's never been subtle with his emotions. And here, his expression is stiff. It's almost unreadable. In another frame, when Nathan says his vows, Tim glances sideways like he's checking how the rest of the family is reacting. That glance says it all. He's not convinced. He doesn't trust Nathan. Maybe he's worried Amy's rushing into something just to fill the space. Ty left behind, but it's Jack's reaction that hits the hardest. He's the anchor of the Heartland family. It's the one who has held everyone together through every loss, every storm. And yet during the wedding, Jack isn't standing, sitting quietly in the crowd, hands tightly locked on his lap, staring straight ahead. He doesn't smile. He doesn't tear up. Doesn't even blink much. It's as if he's bracing for something bad to come. That's not a man watching his granddaughter step into a new future. It's a man watching a mistake in real time. At one point, there's a blink and do miss it shot of Jack walking away from the reception area. He's alone, his shoulders slightly hunched. For a man who usually stays until the very end, that moment speaks volumes. If Jack leaves early, something's wrong. He's the kind of man who believes in commitment, tradition, and trust. If he doesn't fully support Amy's new beginning, viewers can bet there's a reason. The younger generation isn't untouched either. There's a quiet moment in the trailer where Lyndy, Amy's daughter, holds a small bouquet of flowers. She looks up at her mom and Nathan standing at the altar. Her lips are tight. She doesn't smile. She doesn't seem excited. For a little girl, that silence is powerful. Children can often sense when something feels off, even if they don't understand the why. The fact that she looks confused, not happy, might hint at bigger emotional challenges ahead for Amy and her daughter this season. Katie, whose daughter seems more neutral, but she keeps glancing at Lou, maybe for cues on how to feel. It's another subtle but smart choice by the showrunners. It tells us this wedding is not just a new chapter for Amy, it's shaking the entire family tree. There's one more moment worth mentioning. As the trailer cuts to a wide shot of the reception, we see the family spread out, not together, not clustered in warmth like we're used to seeing in Heartland events. Instead, they're separated, small groups standing apart, minimal interaction. That alone creates a cold feeling. This isn't a celebration, it's a shift, and everyone is feeling the change. This section of the trailer isn't loud. There's no shouting, no arguments, no dramatic scenes. But that's what makes it so effective. It's quiet tension, spoken disappointment. And that's the kind of drama that doesn't fade easily. It simmers. And when it finally boils over, well, Heartland fans know the damage it can do. Asterisk, you can't show a wedding at Heartland without feeling the weight of who's missing. And in this trailer, his name is never spoken, but his shadow is everywhere. Ty might be gone, but his absence is the loudest thing in the room. It's in every look Amy gives, every tear Lou hides, every moment the camera avoids a chair that should be filled. The Season 19 trailer dares to move forward, but it never lets you forget who's not walking beside Amy anymore. There's a moment early in the trailer, just seconds long, where the music softens and Amy looks down at her hands. She's holding her bouquet, but her eyes drift past Ita as if she's somewhere else. Maybe in memory, maybe in grief. And for fans who've followed Amy and Ty's love story from the beginning, that glance feels like a goodbye she still hasn't fully said. The trailer doesn't show flashbacks, but it doesn't have to. Every frame is a quiet reminder that Ty's absence still lives in this world. At the wedding, no one speaks his name. No one raises a glass in his honor, but that silence, it says more than words could. It's not that he's forgotten, it's that his presence is too painful to speak out loud. As if acknowledging it might shatter the fragile moment Amy is trying to create with Nathan. There's also a strong visual cue when Amy and Nathan stand together after the ceremony. They're surrounded by family, yet Amy seems separate, alone, exactly but distant. As if she's standing between two worlds, one she built with Ty and one she's trying to build without him. And it's not entirely clear if she's ready to leave the old one behind. One of the most haunting choices in the trailer is the use of silence. There's a shot of the ranch, golden sunlight on the barn, a breeze moving through the grass. Normally, we'd expect soft music or the sound of laughter. But instead, it's quiet, peaceful, yes but empty too. As if something vital is missing from this place. And it is. Because Heartland without Ty will never feel exactly the same. Even Jack, who rarely speaks about emotions directly, seems heavier. In a scene showing him polishing a saddle alone, he pauses and stares off, lost in thought. You know who he's thinking about? You don't need words for it? That's what this trailer does so well. It lets the silence talk, but it's saying is clear, this wedding isn't just a new beginning. It's the closing of a door that was left open too long. Lyndy, Ty's daughter, is another key part of this emotional storm. In one frame, she's seen walking behind Amy and Nathan, trailing a few steps back, not holding their hands, not smiling, just walking quietly. It's a small detail, but it says so much. Children feel absence differently. She might not say it, but in that image, we can feel it. Ty's not there to guide her down this path. And Nathan, he might be trying, but he's not Ty. Some fans might wonder if this silence around Ty is respectful or if it's avoidance. Is Amy really ready to move on, or is she just trying to escape the pain of staying still? That's the question the trailer teases, and it doesn't offer an easy answer. Maybe that's the point. Some wounds don't heal with time, they just get quieter. By the end of the trailer, we're left with a feeling more than a thought. Ty is gone, yes, but he's not out of the story. His memory lingers like a whisper through every scene, and whether Amy admits it or not, her journey with Nathan will always walk beside the ghost of the one she loved first. Asterisk, every wedding has a groom, but not every groom feels like he belongs. That's the feeling Nathan gives off in the Heartland Season 19 trailer. He's front and center, standing beside Amy, smiling at the altar, but even with the ring on his finger, Nathan still feels like an outsider. And that might not be a mistake. Because as the trailer unfolds, one thing becomes clear. We don't really know who Nathan is, and the few moments we do see him leave more questions than answers. From the first time Nathan appears, something feels just a little too perfect. He's calm, well-dressed, polite. He holds Amy's hand with just the right amount of tenderness. But that's the problem. It all feels rehearsed. Almost like he's saying what he knows people want to hear. When one scene he tells Amy, "We've come so far, but we don't know how far. We barely know where they even started. How did this relationship come to be? When did Amy fall in love with him?" The trailer gives us none of that backstory, and that silence speaks volumes. Then there's the way other characters look at Nathan. In one quick shot, Lou glances at him across a table, her expression tight. Not angry, not warm, just guarded. Jack, in another moment, is seen standing behind Nathan during a conversation, arms crossed, eyes narrowed. These aren't the body languages of trust. These are people watching someone who hasn't earned his place yet, someone they're still trying to figure out. And the most telling moment is just a few seconds long. Nathan is seen stepping outside the barn alone, pulling out his phone and speaking quietly into it. We don't hear what he says, we don't know who he's talking to, but his tone is low, serious, and completely different from the soft-spoken man we see at the altar. This one scene suggests there's more to him than what Amy sees. A side of him she may not know, yet or worse, a side she's choosing to ignore. There's also an argument scene later in the trailer. Nathan is shown raising his voice not at Amy, but at someone else off camera. His voice is sharp, defensive. He says, "I've done everything right," and slams his hand on the hood of a truck. That one line unlocks so much. It shows he feels pressure. It shows frustration. And it suggests he's hiding how hard it's been to fit into Amy's world. Or maybe he's hiding something bigger. Even the way other characters speak around him is strange. No one talks about Nathan directly. Not in support and not in concern. They avoid it entirely, as if speaking his name might create a rift they're not ready to deal with. A kind of silence from a family like Heartland's isn't normal. They've always been open, emotional, and honest. So when they go quiet, it usually means something's wrong. It's worth mentioning how little we actually know about Nathan's past. The trailer doesn't show his family. No siblings, no parents, no friends from before Heartland. That's unusual for a show that always ties characters to a deeper history. Could Nathan be someone passing through? Someone with unfinished business? Elsewhere. The show has done this before, brought in characters who looked perfect on paper, but carried secrets just under the surface. Could Nathan be one of them? What makes this all more intense is that Amy seems to trust him completely. At least she wants to. But we've seen Amy trust people before, and sometimes it's cost her. In this trailer, Nathan represents a fresh start. But every detail hints at a story we haven't heard yet. When a story is this quiet, it usually means it's not ready to be told. Nathan might be the new husband. But the real question is, who was he before the wedding? And what is he hiding now that he's in the family? Asterisk, every smile in the Heartland Season 19 trailer feels just a second too long. Every hug feels slightly forced. And the silence between certain characters, it's deafening. That's the brilliance of this trailer. It shows a beautiful wedding. On the surface, but underneath, it's cracking. You can feel it. Not in what's said, but in what's about to be said. This trailer doesn't give away the conflict, promises it. And if you're watching closely, the warning signs are everywhere. There's a shot brief. But loaded where Lou is seen standing alone outside the barn, phone in hand, pacing. She's whispering to someone, then suddenly says no. She doesn't know, not yet. That one line flips everything upside down. Who doesn't know, Amy? About what? Is Lou keeping something hidden to protect her sister, or is she afraid of what revealing it might do? We don't get an answer. But the trailer plants the seed. Later, Jack is shown walking out of a room mid-conversation. His voice raised, his hand gesturing sharply. We don't hear the full dialogue, but one word comes through clearly: mistake. That's not Jack's usual tone. He's calm, steady, and deliberate. For him to walk out of a room in frustration, that means he's deeply shaken. And chances are, it's connected to Amy's choice to marry Nathan. One of the most chilling parts of the trailer shows Nathan sitting alone in the loft, late at night. The light is dim, and he's staring at a document or photo in his hand, something we can't quite see. His face is blank, no emotion. He folds the paper, slides it into his jacket, and walks off into the shadows. It's a moment that feels out of place with the rest of the trailer, and that's exactly why it matters. What is he hiding? Or maybe the better question is, who's he protecting? Even Amy has moments that don't line up with her usual strength. There's a glimpse of her crying not at the altar, not in her room but in the barn. Alone, her hands shaking. She whispers something barely audible, but subtitles catch it. I thought I could do this. That sentence is a crack in the glass. Amy might be putting on a brave face, but inside, she's not certain this marriage was the right move. When Amy's uncertain, it shakes the whole foundation of Heartland. And then there's the newcomer. In just one shot, we see a man standing near the road at the edge of the ranch. He's looking toward the house, his face partially hidden by shadows. No name, no dialogue. But the trailer zooms in just enough for us to notice something. He's holding an old photo. Is he connected to Nathan's past, or Amy's? Either way, he doesn't belong in the happy ending vibe the wedding is trying to create. His presence alone feels like the match waiting to be lit. Other small details build the tension. The sudden lightning in one of the scenes. The distant sound of a door slamming. The way characters avoid each other's eyes in group shots. These are all carefully placed signs by the show's creators. They're telling us, without telling us, peace is temporary. The secrets are simmering. And the real story isn't the wedding, it's the fallout waiting. It's just beyond it. This trailer isn't about what's happening. It's about what's coming. You can feel the pressure rising with each scene. Like a storm building behind the hills. Something's going to snap. And when it does, the wedding will be the first domino in a chain of chaos Heartland hasn't seen in years. When a show like Heartland throws a curveball as big as Amy remarrying, fans don't just watch, they analyze. Every pause, every glance, every shadow behind a closed door. Because deep down, we know this trailer isn't just showing us what's happening. It's daring us to figure out what's coming. And based on what we've seen, fan theories are exploding across the internet. Some feel far-fetched, some feel way too real. But all of them point to one thing. This wedding is just the beginning of something bigger, something messier. Let's start with the theory that's gained the most heat in Nathan isn't who he says he is. Yes, he may seem charming, steady, and supportive on the surface, but fans have started to pick apart his lack of backstory. Where did he come from? Why haven't we seen any of his family or friends? Why is he already so deep into Amy's world after being in the picture for such a short time? One popular theory suggests Nathan could be connected to someone from the Fleming Borden past, possibly an old rival, or even someone tied to Ty's history. The mysterious man seen holding a photo near the edge of the ranch only adds fuel to this idea. What if Nathan's entire romance with Amy started with a motive? Another theory paints a different picture, one that focuses not on deception, but regret. In this version, Amy doesn't fully realize what she's stepped into until it's too late. Her line in the trailer, "I thought I could do this," might be more than wedding day nerves. It could hint at a breakdown in the early weeks of marriage. The wedding might have been a decision made out of fear or loneliness, rather than real love. Fans speculate that Amy might try to hold things together for Lyndy's sake, but eventually, the cracks will show. Could we be looking at a short-lived marriage that unravels before mid-season? Speaking of Lyndy's, some viewers have locked onto her quiet presence in the trailer and turned it into one of the most emotional theories out there. The idea that Lyndy will struggle deeply with Nathan becoming a father figure? She may not say much at first, but the emotional weight of Ty's absence and a new man stepping into his role could lead to a rebellious moment. Some even believe Lyndy could run away temporarily, or act out in a way that forces Amy to face hard truths about her choices. It's not just about Amy moving on. It's about what her moving on does to those around her. And then there's the Lou theory. That quick line on the phone, "She doesn't know. Not yet," has set fans off on a dozen different paths. The most common prediction is that Lou has uncovered something from Nathan's past and is keeping it for Meanie to avoid ruining the wedding. But there's also a bolder version. What if Lou is hiding something even more personal? Some believe there could be a deeper betrayal brewing, something involving money, property, or even a connection between Lou and Nathan that hasn't been revealed. If true, it would mean Season 19's central conflict won't just be about trust, will be about loyalty between sisters. Fans are also buzzing about that lone shot of Jack walking away from a conversation, calling something a mistake. A theory that started to take root is that Jack knows something the rest of the family doesn't. Something that might change how everyone sees Nathan. Could Jack be sitting on a secret that's too painful or dangerous to share? It wouldn't be the first time Heartland built a season around an elder holding the truth until the breaking point. Finally, there's the possibility of an external threat. That strange man in the distance. The stormy weather scenes. The use of silence and tension instead of action. All of it feels like setup. Some believe we're about to see Heartland face more than emotional conflict. Maybe legal trouble, a land dispute, or even danger to the ranch itself. And if Nathan is involved, knowingly or not, it could turn this season from a family drama into a full-on mystery. The beauty of Heartland has always been its slow burn. Its trust in character development over cheap thrills. But this trailer, it's lighting the fuse, and fans know it. Theories are flying because the show has earned that kind of attention. When Heartland whispers, fans lean in, and right now, the whisper is saying, "Get ready." Asterisk, this trailer may only be a few minutes long, but what it sets in motion could reshape Heartland forever. Wedding that should bring joy now feels like a warning bell. Amy smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Nathan fits in, but just barely, and the rest of the family. They're holding back more than they're sharing. If the past 18 seasons were about healing, growth, and finding peace after lost Season 19, looks like the moment all of that is tested, from the first frame to the final shot, the premiere. Trailer gives us something Heartland hasn't shown this clearly in a long time in Rest. Not loud, not violent, but quiet, brewing, dangerous in its silence. This isn't just about love anymore. It's about secrets. It's about choices. It's about what happens when you try to bury grief too quickly in the arms of someone new. Amy and Nathan's wedding may be legal, may be public, may even be heartfelt, but it doesn't feel solid. It doesn't feel earned. And that's exactly what makes this storyline so gripping. The question isn't whether the marriage will last, it's how long everyone around them will pretend to support it. Before the truth breaks through, the family is divided. Trust is fragile. And fans are already sensing the storm ahead. The beauty of Heartland has always been its ability to take small personal moments and turn them into something powerful, something real. And this trailer proves the show still knows how to pull those emotional strings with just the right amount of mystery to keep us guessing. Whether Nathan is hiding something, whether Amy's ready or not, whether Lyndy rebels or Jack speaks up, one thing is clear. Season 19 isn't just a new chapter. It's a reckoning. For the characters, for the family, the legacy Ty left behind. So now the question turns to you, the fans. What did you see in this trailer that others missed? Is that a warning in Jack's voice? A double meaning in? Loose silence? Is Nathan who he claims to be? Or something else entirely? Let us know your theories, predictions, or even your wildest guesses in the comments below. Because this season is shaping up to be one of the most emotional, most mysterious, and most intense in Heartland's entire history. And something tells us the wedding is just the beginning.